Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. His career started in 2002. It spanned 16 years and almost 2,000 games. Victor Martinez impacted Cleveland, Boston, and Detroit as an all-star player and an all-star leader. On this Saturday in Detroit, Martinez calls it a career. He wanted it this way to thank the fans, and now we get to say thank you to him. And what a send-off it was for Victor Martinez earlier today. Welcome, everybody. Alongside two-time World Series champ Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. It was emotional for Victor Martinez, emotional for some of his teammates as well. Why now does he make this decision in your mind?
You know, it really was emotional. You think about his career, 16 years. He started in Cleveland, went to Boston, Detroit, won World Series. He's a 5-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. And it took over 7,000 at-bats to get here. And what happens is, you know, it starts to get old. You've had a lot of injuries. You had some surgeries. You start to miss the family functions. You're tired. You start to think about going. You miss the stuff, and it really gets to you. You have your kids, and he will miss this part. Trust me, the teammate part is the part he's going to really miss. He's got a ranch down there. It starts to become more appealing, and you're physically, you start to, you know, you deteriorate a little bit physically. You can't compete. Mentally, you know it all, and you wish that you knew it all when you were physically able to put it all together. But it just doesn't work that way. So, great day for Victor. He's going to be at first base tonight. And he'll have a beautiful last week enjoying his teammates. It's appealing to go out, and he's doing it in class. The Tigers did a nice job, but he will miss being in that uniform with his teammates in a couple of years.
Well, he's meant a lot to those teammates. A lot of stories throughout our broadcast tonight from a lot of different angles and a lot of pictures of Victor Martinez. And wait till you see the numbers, those gaudy numbers that he's been able to put up over a 16-year career. Yes, it was emotional, but his family and his baseball family were here, and he was glad to share it with his Tiger fans. Mickey York in the Call Sign studio when we come back.
expectations of what a bank can be come to Comerica. Meridian Care, Medicare Advantage plans, and by the Chrysler Pacifica. It is Victor Martinez's night as we welcome you back to the ballpark. Hi, everybody. Mickey York with you in the Coliseum studio. The Tigers had a nice pregame ceremony to honor Victor Martinez just a moment ago. He will play his final Major League game here tonight, and he will get the start at first base. The first time that's happened all season, and the first time since 2016. All throughout tonight's broadcast, we'll spend a good portion of it looking back at Victor's career and especially his time here in Detroit. But it is not over yet. His final swings, his final game. Victor's parade lap begins next on Fox Sports Detroit. Shep and Gibby with the call. Enjoy the game, everybody.
His 16-year career takes the field and will anchor first base. The first start at first base for him since June 1st of 2016 and his 214th appearance at first base. He plays alongside Jordan Zimmerman. He's the starting pitcher and presented by Family Healing, Cooling and Electrical.
Yeah, Zim, one more strikeout on Saturday. He'll match his 2017 total with 202 fewer batters faced. So throwing less fastballs, more sliders this year. Strikeout totals are up. Just he's got to keep it out of the middle of the plate as he gets into the second and third ABs. But is healthy and looking good for the rest of the year and into next year.
4-1 in his career against Kansas City, and he'll face this Royals lineup. Whit Merrifield we've talked an awful lot about, but for good reason. A 13-game hitting streak at Comerica Park. Alex Gordon went 3 for 4 and an RBI last night. 7th 3-hit game for him this year. Brian Goodwin is back in center field after taking last night off and hitting a homer in Thursday's opener. That's the Royals batting order presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Merrifield swings at the first pitch. It's tailing away from Jacoby Jones, and he reaches out and makes a grab and then dropped it. Merrifield will hustle into third. What an effort by Jones.
Yeah, that ball really took off. He had to leap at the last second and never really got it secure. When that glove hits the ground, it's hard to keep it secure. Look at, he had the snow cone, almost a great catch. Almost had it on the bobble, almost came right up to him. See it right in the end right there. Look at that concentration. Oh. Leadoff triple for Merrifield.
Second triple of the year for Merrifield. Adalberto Mondesi stands in, the shortstop and the number 2 hitter the entire series so far. To center. That'll get the run in. The Royals have taken the lead in each of the first 3 games in this series.
McLaren Health Plan brings you the Tigers starting defense. Kristen Stewart again in left field. Jacoby, you see, is in center. Mikey Matuk in right. Candy in on the corner there at third base. Cosma at shortstop. Nico back at second. Victor Martinez playing first base. Jordan Zimmerman's chucking to James McCann. Wonder how it feels out there, Victor. It's been a while, but he wanted to play out there. Good way to go out.
Alex Gordon, first pitch offering. Kristen Stewart makes the easy play. Yeah, I hope people watched Tigers live today. Trevor Thompson with a good story on Victor Martinez playing first, and his question to Ron Gardenhire, who said, look, Victor said I want to play there. Can you give me a chance to play there? And Ron Gardenhire said, it's your day, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Try and think things out the best you can. Hopefully it works out.
Time now for StatCast AI, powered by AWS. Salvador Perez trying to use most of the field. Basically shortstop and up the middle is where he uses most of it. 1 for 7 in the series.
Royals have been attacking the fastball early.
That's by design, obviously. They think there's a propensity there to throw early fastballs to batters.
Is trying to establish a good rhythm. You notice the slider is not there yet, so they'll be tending to look heat.
Zimmerman has his lowest average fastball of his career. It's at about 91 miles per hour.
Used to hum it in there a couple of years ago, not 95, 94 to 96 maybe.
So as you can see there, doesn't use it very much at all. Tapper to short. Cosma sure-handed. The Royals strike first. But Victor Martinez on a special Saturday, looking forward to his chance to help the offensive cause. Tigers game 3 of the 4-game series. Here's the Tigers batting order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jamer Candelario, who had a pinch hit walk last night, is back in the lineup for sure. Victor Martinez batting cleanup and playing first base, as we mentioned earlier. Nico Goodrum plays for the first time since September 12th against Houston, and he'll bat 5th. Today's Royals starting pitcher, Jacob Junis, presented by MGM Grand Detroit. Why does he own Detroit so well, Gibby?
Yeah, 1.74 ERA versus the Tigers, 5.04 against all of their teams. He's got their number, throws a lot of sliders. Second in the league in Major League Baseball in strikeouts on the slider. So Tigers are going to have to make a little bit of adjustment, get the ball up, hit it on the line.
Loves pitching in this ballpark. Junis is 4-1 all time at Comerica Park. This year, 2-0, allowing just 2 earned runs. Candelario missed some time because of a sore back. Told Ron Gardenhire yesterday, I'd like to try and get in if possible. Gardenhire used him as a pinch hitter. To first, Ryan O'Hearn. First time we've seen him in this series, and there's one quick out.
Let's take a look at the Royals starting defense. Alex Gordon in left, Brian Goodwin in center, and Brett Phillips in right. Hunter Dozier moves over from the other side of the diamond to third base. Alberto Mondesi is a good one at short. Whit Merrifield at second. Ryan O'Hare, we're looking forward to seeing him for the first time this series. And Jacob Villarreal is catching today.
O'Hearn at first and Dozier at third, best friends. Stewart fouls one back.
Mabry's Villarreal is the catcher. Jacob Junis is pitching.
First time that we've seen Villarreal in this series. And it's his 5th game played as a Royal. In tight to Stewart, 1-1. I'm anxious to see how Stewart bounces back after a little bit of a struggle last night.
Not as windy. I was talking to a couple of the players that played last night. They said the wind was really swirling out there in the field, especially in the outfield. The wind was opposite of the big flag, the flagpole in center field. And you've got to kind of feel it and understand. Like I said, I've never played on this diamond, so when you play at a field, you kind of understand where to look so you can get clues of what's going on. And Nick Castellanos said everything was really shooting to the gap, everything that was hit out there.
Two quick outs for the Royals here in the first. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Of course, Castellanos helped us all get curly fries Thursday night with a solo homer and went 2 for 4 again last night. A couple of doubles, a couple of runs driven in. Yanked to left, should drop in front of Gordon, and it does. Nicholas Castellanos continues to rake his 178th hit of the year.
Nick continues to just stroke anything that's middle. Look at this right here. Look at that swing path. Right up the sweet spot. Watch the finish. Let it run through. You don't see Nick out of that front foot. Look. See how he's always right up over top of the plate. The crowd you hear is for Victor Martinez.
Reaches out and pokes it foul. We'll be talking about Victor Martinez all day, and for good reason. What he's done in his career at the age of 39 this year, still being valuable to this club, playing in game number 133 this year. Oh, and 2 to him. Still, even at his advanced age, one of the more difficult players to strike out in the game today. Third in the American League, 1 strikeout every 10.35 plate appearances. That is so impressive. Popped it foul. Dozier, a long run, gave up on it. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Victor Martinez, and you'll see this throughout our broadcast tonight. Some really impressive company and impressive numbers. One of 3 since '61 to put up those types of numbers. Chipper Jones is a Hall of Famer, and I know New Yorkers wish Bernie Williams was too, but not sure they'll get their wish. But still, 2 excellent hitters.
Yeah, very consistent, and he's always barreling the ball. You talked about hard to strike out. He's always been between 8 and 10% his whole career at the time he strikes out. It's just, that's way up there as far as good. He doesn't chase.
He's got a
With
great
2
eye,
strikes.
huh?
Yeah, and he's always been pretty consistent from the left side or the right.
Popped it foul. Dozier giving chase again. Too far away. I was talking with Nico Goodrum before the game today and asked him, what did Victor Martinez, what has he taught you? What did you learn from him? He said, it's all about preparation. It's all about having a plan. And I've never seen anybody who goes up into the batter's box with such a good idea of what he wants to do. And hopefully that has kind of resonated with the younger players within that clubhouse.
There's always any player that played a while can think back to a guy like Victor. In my era, it was Rusty Staub. He asked me how many bats I given away one day for the year, and I had to think that there were quite a few. This was at the end of the year, and I asked him how many he gave away, and he told me 1.
Really?
1. So I found that hard to believe, but he was very much like Victor. Had a plan, understood with 2 strikes you got to have to find a way to put the barrel on the bat.
Good contact
Can't
hitter.
give in. Yep.
Tap to first. Maybe it gets through. And Victor Martinez has a base hit in his final game as a Tiger and Major Leaguer.
Okay, he's really hauling down the line. It's like refreshed today. It's been such a great day for him so far. They'll get that ball, get it authenticated. Look at, he's going right out of the box. Now, if he did that every day, every time, that hurts you when you get older. Pay for that. That's going to be it.
Ronnie Rodriguez is going to pinch run for him. What a moment. It's been a special day for him. It's been an emotional day for him. Gibby, you retired, obviously. You knew when you were going to hang it up. How do you deal with that? How do you control those emotions enough to get things settled to play a game?
Well, actually, I made the decision in the middle. I was like August 11th, because I was just hurt too much, and we were headed in a different direction as a team, and I thought it was let the kids play as well. But you make your decision, and you know, a new era, a new phase of his life has started, and he's got a big weight off his shoulders. It's been a riot, but it's been a burden at the same time. You know, if you think of being on the itinerary every single day of a baseball season, and now you get to do what you want with the people you love most. There should be an old saying is you can pick your friends when you retire. That's no disrespect towards your teammates, but the family, we would probably all agree, is what's most special to us all. So they're excited for Victor to come home.
Goodrum straight away. Should be a base knock. Fumbled by Goodwin in center field. The Tigers have tied it early. Trevor Thompson.
Well, Matt, you were there for Ron Gardenhire's pregame address to the media, and he said that Victor showed up today, said he wanted to play first base. Gardy said it's his day. He can do it, but he might not be there long, because as soon as he gets a hit, that'll probably be the last you see of him. And true to his word, Ron Gardenhire pulls him for the pinch runner and Ronnie Rodriguez, and I guess Ronnie might take over at first, but a very short day for Victor, and he certainly soaked in his last moment as a big league ball player taking the field.
Customized cleats today too, Trev, and on them in Spanish, the boy of Ciudad Bolivar who left footprints in MLB, I love you. It's hard for a lot of us to imagine. 16 years at the highest level, played it your entire life, and then to say goodbye.
A lot of time spent before his career to realize his dream. So, you know, it's much longer than the 16 years.
Grounded to short. Victor Martinez's first career hit came on September 10th of 2002. His last in his career comes on this September 22nd of 2018. while you can, to pick the brain of a man who's been so successful at this level. Every Tiger you talk to leading up into this day was excited for him, but also a little somber at the same time. Not many can say they got a base hit in their final at bat in their career.
He beat the shift and he legged it out. Fitting.
Really was. High pop-up, shallow right field. Matuk in, Goodrum out. And actually it's Ronnie Rodriguez. Ronnie Rodriguez has gone to second. Nico Goodrum to first. Here's Hunter Dozier. Dozier 0 for 4 last night. Just his 4th hitless game in 20 with Kansas City. One and one. Zimmerman working quicker here than he did last time out against Minnesota. And Gibby, you've always told us that's one of those many signs that a pitcher feels comfortable, likes his stuff, and should have a good day.
Well, he's you know, the Royals came out hitting rockets. They did get 1 run out of it, but I think he's wanted to establish the strike zone, and he has. And he's moving it all around, and sometimes I think they work on that in their bullpen sessions. You know, they might review the previous game and say, you know, I thought you were a little slow, so you come out with that fresh in your mind and you execute it. And Zim is very quick between pitches.
You're going to see a lot of fly balls in all likelihood here tonight by Kansas City. Jordan Zimmerman gives up 42.5% of a fly ball rate. That's the highest in his career. So outfielders are on alert. There's another one to center. And another put out for Jacoby Jones. As always, we invite you to stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game, where we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's.
We already have that one picked.
Well, the sentimentality, yes.
Might guess that one. You see the shift.
But if somebody hits a game-winning homer,
we pick Victor.
Okay.
Well, we picked the stick, right? We all had secret ballots.
I can't wait to pick Castellanos tomorrow if he plays. You know, being first overall again.
I mean, again, you picked today.
I don't recall that.
You picked
That's
Victor.
The weird thing.
You picked Victor. And I picked second.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to make a late season push, my friend. Plus, I'm trying to hold you off. So I want that first pick, a rocket. And just in time. Candelario kept it in front of him. Ned Yost might want to take a look at it. Let's see.
Nope. Think he got him.
He sure did. You could argue Goodwin didn't even touch first, like just short of first base.
That's actually good technique. You want to just barely touch it if you want to get there the fastest.
A 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman and the Tigers. James McCann, Jacoby Jones, and Pete Kozma for the Tigers here in the second. McCann took the microphone and presented Victor Martinez with his parting gifts today before the game, which was pretty cool. Knowing that Victor's got that huge ranch down in Florida, they presented him with a pair of cowboy boots,
Western saddle
with an English D on it, which was awesome. A leather chair with the English D on it.
Tell you, that's tough work.
Yeah.
Rounding up those cattle.
There's the good look at the saddle. Love that picture right there.
Just drop it on your cutting horse.
Second strikeout of the day for Jacob Junis. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game.
Jacoby taking a good aggressive swing right there. You can see he's a little dirty already. Made a diving attempt. First batter of the game, Whit Merrifield. Had it, but couldn't hold on to it.
Grounder to third. Dozier across the diamond. And here's Pete Kozma. Four for 10 on the homestand for Kozma.
Junis kind of moving it around right now in the Tigers. Tigers strung together some 2-out hits. Scored one to tie it up.
1-1 to him.
We got some reinforcements back in the lineup today. Candy, Stewart's there again. Castellanos. Victor's out of the game.
Goodrum.
Nico's back. Kozma's been doing a heck of a job at shortstop. He remains in.
Yeah, I said to him earlier today, man, it's been we're still searching for all the right words for all those spectacular plays you're making at short. He says, hey man, it's been a lot of fun.
This kid just really appreciates the game.
Yeah, you can tell, can't you? The way he plays it. And he's been having some better at-bats as of late.
Yeah, I thought when he first came back that he looked like he hadn't been hitting as much. But with all the playing time he's got, it becomes a little easier. Get your timing down, seeing the ball, feel comfortable in the box.
2-2 now.
There's a slider right there. That really try and attack the Tigers with sliders and curveballs.
Team's batting just 180 against Junis's slider this year. And he gets his third strikeout already through two. Venezuelan-born players. Top 10 in all those significant categories.
Minimum 5,000 plate appearances. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
You know, you got to think about the swings. Let's say average 5 pitches at bat, right? Maybe he's probably 4. So that's 20,000, right? At least swings, you know.
Wow.
And you probably, if you figure he took another, at least average, probably say 100 swings a day before he hit the field.
Man.
It's a lot of swings.
Now think about this. In his career, 16-year career, 8,166 plate appearances. It's a lot. So foul back. Some of the best Venezuelan-born players. Well, Miguel Cabrera for sure. Omar Vizquel, former Tiger coach. Maglio Ordonez for the Tigers.
Carlos Guillen.
How about Davy Concepcion?
Concepcion? Yeah, he was good.
It's another ex-Tiger up there, Francisco Rodriguez. Base hit for Brett Phillips. First of the series for him. Louis Aparicio, Bobby Abreu. Hey, copies are still available of the new book 3, A Salute to Alan Trammell. Relive the career of Tigers legend and 2018 Hall of Fame inductee Alan Trammell with this must-have item. It's filled with an exclusive collection of stories and photographs. It's perfect for any Tigers fan. Order a copy today by visiting tigers.com/Trammell3.
Tram is down in instructional ball right now with the youngsters in Lakeland, Florida.
And what's the goal there? What are they teaching the youngsters in instructional ball right now? Is it the basics? Is it the Ron Gardenhire baseball book of what is expected coming out next year?
Well, you have an organizational manual. It is basic stuff, but some of it's tune-up stuff. And you're trying to implement your philosophy. You really can't require somebody to do one sole technique, because the different techniques do work for other guys, but you know, I mean, that's in everyday life. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
The goal is to get to point A, from point A to point B. Looks like he wants to go. So when you find the way to do it, there are certain principles though you have to use to do so. There's a lot of baseball. They get up early and they get going. Then they usually play games a little later. Some of the guys will be going to the fall league. That's getting ready to start pretty soon. Some will be ready to go down to winter ball. So it's year-round baseball.
Can that be detrimental? Do you need a break?
Some people do. I think it depends. Some, like I said, what's good for one may not be the right thing for another. But these guys, they look into everybody, what they need. They look at their last year, 2 years, 3 years. Do they need a rest? Do they need to push on? A lot of it has to do with what the player wants to do as well. Many guys, good running fastball right there. A lot of guys, they miss their families. They want to go home, just like Victor. And I will say the Tigers have been great. Victor's been able to have his family here with him most of the time. What a gentleman of a young man his son Victor is, huh? Everybody loves him around the clubhouse.
Sure do. Was playing ping pong with Ronnie Rodriguez earlier today.
Yeah, they were playing yesterday. He likes to put that spin on there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not as good as you yet.
No, I don't like those paddles they play with. I don't know if I could play with those.
Villarreal with a shot at second base. Rodriguez with a quick flip, and Cosma turned it perfectly.
Well, this is a hot shot right to Ronnie. Got rid of it quick. They've been working on these flips. Cosma takes his time. Good backhand right there. See how he kind of flipped it to his hand? That's, you want to clean that flip up as close to your hand as you can, because the further it gets away from discharging it to your glove hand, something could happen.
But it is interesting. You were talking about this last night during the broadcast about the short hops. Ronnie Rodriguez got that short hop. That's where the most true hops come, right, on something like that. So he played it right like you'd like to as a second baseman.
If you get your glove closer to the hop, it's not going to get by your glove. Is kind of the way it goes. If you get a middle hop, it can bounce and you wouldn't have time to react. The long hop, meaning you're say 8 feet away from the ball, generally you can catch that all the time as well. But you secure it on the short hop really quicker than any other way. And interesting, this ball skipped. Watch him turn his glove over. See how it's right there? It hit about 2-3 feet right in front of his glove. He had it set up right in the webbing. And Pete just easily throws to first.
Waiting on Whit Merrifield to change his bat since he just broke the last one. Merrifield tripled and scored to lead off the game, and that triple, his second of the year, and extends his hitting streak now to 13 games, but 14 games here at Comerica Park. Started back on July 25th.
See him choked up there right at the end of the bat?
Yeah, of 2017, by the way. In tight.
So this is why certain hitters get to be good 2-strike hitters. You got to do something. He's got good bat control. Look at that end of that hand is up off the bat. Good shot right there.
Another one snugly in there.
Mike
2-2.
Doubled it up. Merrifield, Jordan Zimmerman, and James McCann know that he wants to go out the other way. So they're trying to get it in on him. Get him to think about it. Maybe you go away here and he's not diving as much. What you don't want to do when you're especially in emergency mode right now is get over top of that front leg. You don't want to get leaning over there. You want to try and stay back behind it.
Merrifield starting his 150th game for the Royals here tonight. Worked a heck of an at bat for a walk right there. He was 0-2. Our Chevy most dependable player looks at the Tigers' high A team, the Lakeland Flying Tigers. Paredes with 12 homers and a nice OPS. Anthony Castro pitched well.
Many of those players are down there in the instructional ball.
The 12 homers by Paredes. He's the first teenager to hit 10 homers or more in the Florida State League since Giancarlo Stanton back in 2009. Matt Dominguez did it as well, but Stanton's a big name.
Yeah, it's a tough league. Merrifield's going to want to go here.
Already 2 stolen bases in the series.
39 on the year. Look how he goes back. That's just everything he does. That's great technique. He's low. He's at that back corner. That's perfect illustration of what you want to do, because if you get caught, you want that tag, that glove, to go a far distance to be able to tag you. You don't want them to just drop it straight down and for the easy out.
He plays someplace else where their team is having a lot of success. He's a much bigger name. Much bigger. Such a sound player. Got him leaning. You called it, Gibby. And Cosmo will tag him out. What a job by Jordan Zimmerman. They sniffed it out.
Held it.
Yeah, sure did. Merrifield busted for the 10th time this year. Detroit Tigers Fantasy Camp. Join former Tiger greats for an incredible week of baseball. Packages include personalized authentic home and away jerseys, hitting clinics with Alan Trammell, daily games in Tiger Town, and much more. To purchase, visit tigers.com/fantasycamp or call 313-471-2550.
That's a loyal group of those fantasy campers. You been to any of those?
I have not.
You should get in. Seriously.
Why is that?
These guys are so loyal. I tell you, just make sure you're in shape because you could pull something quickly.
You know, a friend of mine used to go down there all the time. You remember Kurt Sylvester?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
the
a writer
writer
for the Free Press. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a baseball. He loves baseball.
He's a baseball nut, no doubt.
Guys go there year after year. Candy looking to center one right here.
13 of his 19 homers have come from the left side, but his average much lower from that side of the plate. Two and two to him.
Nice snapdragon there. Curveball. Backdoor type.
Fouled away.
Junis just mixing a couple curveballs in with the slider. Curveball breaks much more. More of 11 to, I should say 1 to 7.
Junis has given up 32 homers, 32, third most in the American League, but 22 of them have been solo jobs.
Well, I guess if you're going to give it up, that's what you want to do.
I guess so.
Candy's got to stay back.
Ripped to first, but on a line, one down. Trevor Thompson.
Well, Matt, after talking with Victor Martinez and reflecting over his years in the big leagues, he certainly has played with some very impressive teammates. Let's check that out in this Chrysler game break. And you see the list is indeed an impressive one. Jim Thome, CC Sabathia, and then managers at the bottom, Charlie Manuel, Jim Leland, and the list goes on when you look at the players he played with in Detroit. Just a star-studded lineup. When you look at his career, certainly he's a star himself, but he said that when he looks back later on in his life and to tell the grandkids, hey, I played with some Hall of Famers, and look at the list of guys, it certainly is one that is eye-popping, guys.
Yeah, Trev, but those same Hall of Famers, they're going to say they played with Victor Martinez, don't you think?
Absolutely, they're going to say they played with one of the best switch hitters ever to play the game.
I wonder what Victor's finest moment would be.
It's a great question.
Ask him that.
Yeah. I wonder if it's baseball related. I mean, he's such a family man, right? He lost his father at a very young age. Really important to have, as you mentioned earlier, his son with him on so many trips. His wife has been a champion for as long as they've been married. So I wonder if it is baseball related. But I'm sure it's baseball related, but it has maybe something to tie in with his kids being in a certain moment.
Matt, and you think back to all the times we saw him out here on the field with young Victor Jose, throwing him batting practice from both sides of the plate. That kid could rake too. I mean, ropes on a line every time that those two got together here out on the field. He even took them on the road, and those guys would take BP out in the outfield prior to the game or prior to early batting practice. So a lot of quality time spent with his son Victor Jose, and that was very meaningful to him along the way. He would talk about that every Father's Day, how he didn't have his father here and he wanted to spend as much time with his kids, in particular Victor Jose, here on the baseball field, and that's something we'll never forget, and he'll never forget when he looks back at his time in the majors.
Right, so that might be those, some of those might be those favorite moments, you know, so very important to him. You saw Scherzer in that graphic. I was talking with James McCann and asked him what he's learned most about Victor Martinez, and he did talk about obviously the approach, the professionalism, but how he was locked in, and he used the Scherzer game as an example. Max Scherzer came back, struck out 20 Tigers, and he said, you know, Shep, Victor had 3 hits that day. We were getting blown away by Max Scherzer stuff, but not Victor Martinez. He had 3 hits that day against him. That stuck out to him.
Yeah, he hits the good pitchers. He hits late in the season. He hits when in a clutch. But he's just a pure hitter. and the numbers show. And you saw the tape of Nicholas being with Victor there. You could tell those guys were good friends and close. And I know along the way you acquire little trinkets of wisdom. Victor's certainly one of those guys who spread that for some of these youngsters to use and benefit their team.
And Gibby, one of those nuggets of wisdom would be don't give away at-bats. He said early in his career he was guilty of giving away at-bats as a young player, but he learned early on in his career you can't give at-bats away, and that's part of why he became so focused and locked in at the plate. The desire not to give away at-bats, to refocus on each and every pitch, and that's what made him so clutch. At least that's what he said last night, attributing that, and he's hoping the young guys in the locker room are paying attention.
I think most would echo those sentiments. A drive to right center. Good win over. Same with Phillips. It'll be Phillips making the grab. 2 down.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. We're talking about hitting the good guys. Victor Martinez versus Chris Sale. He raked him. I mean, like nobody. 423 in his career, and Chris Sale can bring it. Most of the guys on the bench didn't like it, Shep. They were saying, get him out of the game, Victor.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like, what, 17 for 40 some?
Well, in 2013, Victor Martinez went 11 for 17 against Chris Sale. And that single season against one of the more dominating pitchers of our era, 11 of 17. Really impressive.
Good measuring stick.
This is the first at bat for Ronnie Rodriguez. He came in and pinch ran for Victor Martinez in the first after Martinez's final at bat as a pro was a base hit.
And he was smelling it right out of the box.
Good stop, but there goes Stewart.
Got a slide there, but he was gone quick. Look at, he's gone right on. That is perfect timing. That foot got down just in time.
You can hurt yourself that way, can't you?
It's hard to stop, I tell you. It's pretty athletic by Stewie. You see how he never stopped right there? That's perfect. The right foot goes down. He saw it go off the catcher. He's gone.
Had his mind made up right away, didn't he?
Yeah, if the catcher catches it, you go the other way to first. Base hit, and you get yourself a free run.
A tapper just past the mound. Everybody's safe.
That guy doesn't make many errors over there.
No, he doesn't. Merrifield kind of peaked maybe a little bit here.
That's what happens when you hustle. Ball stayed down. Maybe he's thinking about that caught stealing. I know he didn't like that either. Another gift to the Tigers. We need the big hit right here by Nico.
Fourth hit of the day for the Tigers. Here's Nico Goodrum, who had one earlier. Does Ronnie Rodriguez steal here with Mabry's Villarreal behind the plate rather than Salvador Perez?
Can he leave that hole open? You can see Merrifield way over in the hole. Victor's going to see a lot of off speed right now. See, here's the hole here, so they've got Merrifield over this side. They're really trying to close that up.
Goodrum punches it. If it stays fair into the corner, it is. It's a ground rule double. And the Tigers are in front.
That's good hitting right there. These are the quality at bats that Gardy's been talking about. They try and go up, they miss their target. Look at Nico just keeping that top hand and bottom hand coordinated to stay on top of that ball down in the left field corner. Tigers take the lead 2-1 with second and third and a chance for more.
Both runs driven in by Nico Goodrum for the Tigers. Mikey Matuk, first pitch swinging, pops it foul and into the seats. Ron Gardenhire, he knows where that red light is. I think he's most impressed that Goodrum's been out since September 12th.
Raking on the first day back.
Yeah, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. I was going to take him for ram pick the stick today too.
You got 1 point.
True. So do you though.
So I can't gain on you.
Yeah, but I can't extend the lead either.
How many are you ahead of me?
Ooh, 10? 10 maybe? Close to it?
No, you can't be up 10.
You don't think I'm up 10?
Let's take a look at our ram pick the stick update.
It's for everybody. I'm trying to gain ground on York.
Yeah, he needs a big collapse.
I know he does.
Now I give Mickey and Keating
There it
some
is,
credit,
right there.
right?
Oh, I'm only up 1. That's of today.
Okay.
Are you sure about
so,
that?
So those guys are always sitting behind me. I had Nick and went -4. He got what, 17 out of him?
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of luck. I guess it's just like the game of baseball too. But you maybe say you make your own luck,
I'm
right?
sure that score's correct.
Oh, Shep, stop.
1 point. I could have sworn it was double digits.
You get the second pick tomorrow.
No, I get the first pick tomorrow. Looking forward to that too.
Take Nick.
See if he's in the lineup.
He's going to be in the lineup.
I'll be honest with you, I was not going to take him today because of his numbers against Junis. He's 0-14 against Junis.
He was 3 for 16 last night, and I took the previous night, and I took him. He had what, 5 points?
Yeah. A couple of doubles.
Ronnie and Nico, second and third. Mikey's looking to drive him in.
He actually had 6 points last night, Bud, because he had 2 RBIs. Everybody taking Victor Martinez and ram pick the stick today.
In honor
just as
of
a
a great
tribute.
career,
Yeah, right. Matuk gets a hold of one. Deep left. And then curling is Alex Gordon. And he makes the grab. Tigers threaten for more, but they'll take at least one and grab a 1-run lead. You're watching Tigers Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Top of the fourth here for Kansas City alongside Kirk Gibson, Dan Petrie, and Craig Monroe joining us during our broadcast for the next couple of innings. Did a great job on Tigers Live pre, and look forward to your insight on postgame as well. First things first, guys, the Victor Martinez celebration. What did you enjoy most about it, and could you relate to the emotions that he was feeling?
Well, that's what I enjoyed about it. I enjoyed the true emotion. So many times they think you're robots. As fans, you think they're robots, and to hear and to see Victor's emotion and giving thanks to these great Tiger fans for showing up, supporting them throughout these years, well, for me, was the highlight.
I just love the fact that when he's getting out of the game, he's going to have a lot of time to go back and watch his kids grow up. That's what he says. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out on the ranch, but his kids are young enough. He can go home and throw some batting practice, watch his girls dance, and he's still a young man and can watch his kids grow up and be successful.
What do you guys think he's meant to this franchise?
Well, I think he's just shown how to be a professional, not only on the field but off the field. I love the impact that he's had on the young players. I like that he's also a student of the game. And he's sharing his experience, especially this year in particular, with all the young players that the Tigers have on their team this year.
And how about the protection that he provided Miguel Cabrera too?
Good
you
one.
know, and that marvelous season that he had, where he finished second in the MVP award. I mean, that's not easy to do because everybody's pitching around Cabrera, the best hitter that there is in the game, and he's got to pick him up.
That's a good point, Dan. I mean, those numbers from 2014 when he led the majors in OPS with 974, when he had over 30 bombs and less than 50 strikeouts. I mean, that was just what he did that year was incredible. From 2011 through 2014, what he was able to do during that stretch, batting .321. He was just one of those consistent guys. This one is a bomb, and it's going to be over the wall. We're tied. Alex Gordon.
The old left-hander just like it down and in. The slider didn't quite get in there. This guy.
I was thinking right along with you, Gibby. I'm going, that's what they do. Those lefties on that one that's down and in, just bail and wail on it.
Dan, Jordan Zimmerman's now allowed 26 homers, but he's only given up 22 walks. What does that tell you?
That just is amazing to me. And what it first indicates to me is, obviously he's got great control, but it's in a little bucket, okay? And the hitters, if you don't come in off the plate, I'm not talking about inside, but off the plate, that hitter's going to get nice and comfortable looking just in that tiny little box that they have to worry about. So far, I think on right-handers, you're seeing Jordan Zimmerman coming off the plate inside, which on that one.
That one's stroked to left center, but Jacoby Jones has such great range.
Hey, Peaches, who taught you that when you were coming up in the organization? Do you remember somebody who had that impact that taught you that and you believed that was something you should do?
A lot of it was Roger Craig and of course Sparky, but Jack was the one on Monday that I heard him analyzing Jordan, and it made so much sense. Is you got to make them move their feet and not just on the inside third of the plate or a couple inches inside, inside. And if you don't, it's going to hit hard like that last one.
And Gibby, I really threw from an offensive standpoint, being in the batter's box, I just feel like I could be very comfortable against Jordan Zimmerman because I know that he's going to be around the plate. Shep, you talked about the 22 walks. He's given up 26 home runs.
Yeah.
That tells you that he's pounding the strikes on every pitch that he throws in his arsenal. It's going to be around the plate. So for me, that gives me confidence to believe that I'm going to get a good pitch to hit.
Now, if you think about Mondesi, he struck out on a very good slider. He took a lot off it. It bit down into the ground. The home run, Alex Gordon, I don't know if that was a curveball or a slider. It didn't. So it's just a matter of executing. I mean, making sure you get inside. I know as a hitter that's effective, but you still got to make the pitches no matter what. Nice play here. Zim gets over to first.
But the Royals tie it on Alex Gordon's 12th homer of the year. It was special for him, but not for the fan. He spit it right back. from Victor Martinez, especially in 2014 when he finished second to Mike Trout in the MVP race. Impressive numbers, and you see the 30+ homers and less than 50 strikeouts in a single season. That's the statistic that blows your mind, isn't it?
Well, to have the power and have the average and the consistency from both sides that's the impressive part. Look at the guys in history to do that. There's some big names there: Barry Bonds, Ted Williams, Hank, Maggio.
That's unbelievable.
Victor, you see it.
Love it. James McCann on a sinking line drive, but Alex Gordon's he's just as good as it gets in left field.
He got a great jump on that ball, Shep. Right off the bat, he knew exactly where that ball was going. That allowed him to make that play.
He also, that's kind of where the lights start to take effect there, Simo. And look how it looked like he dropped down little quicker. Does he know that the lights are right there and he just got down so he can get underneath them? You've had him stay in there. Look at it.
And look at the concentration there. That's why he's got gold gloves.
So you get that, and that ball goes in those lights, and it just kind of gets really light. You can't see, but you have a pretty good idea right there where it's going. You see he put his glove nice and wide open. You got to have a good glove so when it hits there, it doesn't clank like somebody in this conversation. Peaches, don't tell him. Keep it away from Gibby.
You never did that when I was pitching. Everything was right in your glove.
Hey, Danny, I was admiring the pickoff on Merrifield. Just wondering what your thought was.
You know what?
Key to that happening.
Me too. And thing of it was that he was a lot like what Max Scherzer used to do. He held the ball and held the ball and held the ball, and Merrifield got kind of happy feet over there. He started, inching towards second base, and that's when Zim went over there and got him. But the thing that I was impressed with too, that had to make Gardy happy, was just a one throw, right? He just ran him back to second. Goodwin ran him back to second. One throw to Cosma, and he ran him back to second. So he was making the out going towards first base.
Nice barehanded play by Dozier, but not in time to get to Speedy Jones.
Little benefit right there. This Hunter Dozier was a little deep. You can't do that on the speed guys. He does get a good grip on it, but Jacoby has already beat it out.
Guys, I was talking to Gardy in the club, in his office today, and we were talking about Jacoby Jones. He's an exciting player. He plays, he just plays hard. He plays the game the right way, and he's using his legs. He's definitely going to have to obviously be patient at the batter's box a little bit more so he can use that speed, utilize it on the base pass. But I just love the way this kid plays the game.
He's going to want to go too.
I want to put a finishing touch on that Victor Martinez graphic we saw moments ago. 4 times in his career he had more walks than strikeouts, including 2014, that season you saw. He had 70 free passes and only 42 strikeouts, guys. That is really impressive.
I talked to Victor about that, Shep, and what allowed him to pick up the baseball so earlier than most hitters in the batter's box, is because he hit with tremendous timing, his rhythm and timing. He talked about going early, and if you watch that first step back, he goes back early, gets the front foot down early enough to where he makes some really good decisions.
I look at the two top names on that list. I think it was Barry Bonds and Ted Williams, and both of them had great eyes. And if you're going to hit all those home runs like Barry Bonds and Ted Williams did, you're going to be selective, and you're going to make that pitcher make a mistake where it's right down the middle and it's something that you can drive.
Well, there's no question Victor Martinez is one of the best switch hitters that we've seen our era. Who are some of the others?
I think about guys like Chipper Jones.
For sure.
I also love watching Bernie Williams, the New York Yankees. I thought his approach was solid from both sides of the plate.
I still have nightmares over Eddie Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy we faced all the time.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's getting
Sparky never let him hit. He'd always wanted to walk him. Remember that, Gibby? He'd look over and he says, you're not even going to think about hitting, and he'd just put him on.
Well, when you hit over 500 home runs.
3,000 hits.
Yeah, 3,000 hits. Top 5 in the MVP voting 6 straight years, Dan. And he's also the major league leader in sacrifice flies, 128.
Eddie is. Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray is right, yeah.
He was a
What
good
about,
teammate.
now this is before all our time, but Mickey Mantle, I mean, won a Triple Crown, 7-time World Series champ, 536 homers.
Of course, and Pete Rose.
Yep, Pete Rose, good point.
Now,
3 batting titles for Pete Rose.
just looking at Junis right here, Peaches, Jacoby's occupying his mind, it looks like. Did that influence you rushing sometimes and not being able to throw a strike? Cosma is ahead of three balls and a strike.
Absolutely. You know, guys that are over there that have a chance to run, it's a big distraction.
He's gone, but Cosma takes the walk.
So because you try and rush as a pitcher, what the arm drags behind, how does that
and everybody's going to tell you, hey, you really have to concentrate. Don't let the guy at the plate beat you. That's the guy that's going to beat you, is the guy standing at the plate, not the guy that's over at first base. You already had your chance at him. You know, concentrate on the guy at the plate. But it's not easy to do. You know, you have to give your catcher a chance, or you got Lance Parrish coming marching out and wanting to bite your neck off.
What would he say?
No,
What would Big Will?
He wouldn't. But I mean, really, most of these catchers, if you give them just a legitimate chance, you know, there's a good chance you're going to throw them out.
Here's Candy with the chance. Tigers first and second, 1 out. I don't think Jacoby would be going here. Candy with the golden opportunity. Hit a nice gapper and score a couple.
Hit the ball hard last time up, a line drive to first.
And I've noticed he's really been quick inside some of the balls he's hit. But this ball right up in this part, he is so quick. Make a mistake up there. Let's see what he does.
Did he line out to first base early in the game on the pitch up there?
Last time out, yep. 3rd inning, yep.
Gibby, there was a point in the season where Candy was really getting pounded in, and he wasn't getting to that pitch. And so he had to make some adjustments. I got a chance to talk to him about those adjustments, and he simply told me that he backed off the dish a little bit, kind of gave himself some more room to where he can take a direct path to the baseball. And he's been getting to that pitch a lot easier here of late.
Remember, he hit the home run off a 102-mile-an-hour fastball away.
Gets through the legs of Villarreal, and the Tigers move up 90 feet.
Now, Peaches, tell us, you're a pitcher. You know you got to. He's trying to get a chase right here. You got to trust your catcher, don't you?
You do, and you're trying to, you know, keep something down low, hoping they'll turn over on it and roll it to second base. Looks like a changeup there, and just didn't get down with his glove, and that went right through the 5-hole. But you know, I don't know how often he throws to the catcher. I mean, unless he, you know, with Perez, he throws certainly a lot more. So you always have that, you know, comfort level with a certain catcher.
Do you trust him on this pitch? Because that's a pitch that you might need 2-2, second, third.
You betcha.
Do you have to trust him?
You have to. Yeah, because this is the one where you might want to bounce that good slider that he has, or even try to backdoor him on that slider.
Popped it up. Dozier. 2 down.
Breaking ball. It's actually a spinner right here, Simo. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he got away with one there. Candy maybe a little bit too quick on that one, Gibby, but that's one that I felt like he can handle. And that's one of the things I like about his approach. You know, you talked about him hitting the 100-mile-per-hour fastball the opposite way. That's what makes him a good hitter, or what's going to make him a better, even better hitter, because he trusts letting that baseball travel and being able to drive the ball the opposite way.
Another one gets by, and a free run for the Tigers. They're back in front.
Well, he's just getting beat up. Villarreal is getting beat up. You got to get over in front of that and get your chest protector on top of that.
Well, he tries to backhand it too instead of, you know, coming over just like you said in front and getting that glove down.
Petrie, right there. If you're the pitcher there, are you frustrated? Are you getting frustrated with your catcher? Because
I think there was a little bit.
He was supposed to move his feet and get in front of that ball.
I think there was, and they were kind of talking about it. But also, how about the jump Jacoby Jones got? I mean, I think he anticipated that something was going to be in the dirt, and he just kind of made it home easy.
Royals have used 3 different catchers so far in this series. Salvador Perez started the first one Thursday night, Cam Gallagher last night, and now Villarreal here tonight. Mark that as a wild pitch. Stewart pulled his head off that one, and it's 2-1.
Shut him off speed. Actually, that was a good two-seamer, 90 mile an hour. Stewie let it fly.
Had good arm side movement on it, Gibby, running away from Stu.
I like the fact that he missed it. You know, a lot of guys, you're ahead 2 balls and no strikes, and they adjust to that. Simo, you want to.
Yes, they do.
You got to let it go. You want to miss
contact.
that one. Yeah.
You don't want to get cheated. You're right, Gibby. You don't want to get cheated 2-0.
He's going to come back to something off speed. This may be away, but the next one. There's that two-seamer. You don't want that anyway. You got Nick Castellanos on deck. He's in a little bit of a predicament. What do you do, Danny?
Well, 3-1. I mean, it's lesser of 2 evils, I guess. You know, you can go right after him, but then you got the best hitter on the ball club.
Stroke to center. Goodwin is there. Tigers on just 1 hit go back in front by a run.
Victor Martinez in the first inning, 2 down, up to the plate, and legs out. An infield single. He says that's it. Final career at bat. A very emotional day for Victor.
Back up the middle for Ronnie Rodriguez. Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Victor Martinez at first base tonight.
Remember this one?
Yeah, oh, that was a phenomenal play to Drew Smiley.
He could pick it over there a little bit. This is a couple years ago. Caught early in his career. That was his last game was, I think, in 2014. Last game at first till today was 2016.
Yeah, he caught 858 games, and he played first 214 games. with today included. And he will leave the game with 2,153 hits. That's a lot of hits, folks. And what made him so tough, fellas, was his ability to hit 3-0. And oftentimes, you guys have told us during our broadcast in the past that that's the measure of a really good hitter. Why is that, Craig Monroe?
For me, it just shows great plate discipline. He knows, as Gibby would say, how to keyhole him and get it right in that zone, that in his happy zone, and he didn't miss. Gibby, I really didn't like hitting 3-0, Shep, either, because at times you just get big with your swing. You're trying to go for the downs, but that's what's impressive about Victor Martinez. He never really got outside of himself. He always stayed within himself, and he was able to be a very clutch hitter in that 3-0 count.
Well, Victor's numbers at 3-0 were incredible. He had 3-0 count. He's 25 for 61, a .410 batting average. Some doubles, 5 home runs, a 1.573 OPS. So it worked pretty good.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
He was patient, but you know, you can see this is a good quality pitch by Zim right here for the first out.
Yeah, that's painting on the outside part of the plate there.
Dan, did you pitch to certain batters differently, 3-0?
Well, I was just thinking about, you know, 3-0 when, you know, for me, it's like, I don't know that I can throw 3 really quality pitches in a row to get them out. So if they swung 3-0 and they popped out, I feel like I got a really, really good break. Now, you know, I don't know what success all these hitters had when they were 3-0 against me. But boy, if they did, you know, I really feel like I got a break, because chances are they did make an out if they did swing.
Ooh, Brett Phillips took one really close.
I do remember, speaking of Eddie Murray, I do remember one time in Tiger Stadium being 3-0 on him, and I threw him a cookie right down the middle of the plate, and he popped it out to center field, and I got it out, and there was nobody on, and Sparky took me out of the game. I mean, he realized that this guy, you know, I mean, didn't have anything, so I got away with one and felt like, hey, you know, I just got a big break, because he did swing 3-0, and I wasn't going to, you know, have a chance trying to throw 3 quality pitches, and he got himself out.
It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmermann. The celebration for Victor Martinez, though he may be out of the game, continues on Fox Sports Detroit. 2000 preseason when they clash with the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday, October 12th at the Breslin Center, Student Event Center at 7 o'clock. For tickets, visit MSUSpartans.com or call 517-355-1610. What a beautiful night, huh? Chilly, but gorgeous sky here
This
in
is
downtown.
perfect
Detroit.
condition. The players just
Did you guys like playing in cooler weather? How'd you feel about that?
pitchers did.
You're right, Gibby, because I knew hitters hated it. You know,
And I'm one of those hitters, Pete. PJ, I'm one of those hitters.
Hey,
I
I
do
mean,
not like to hit in the cold.
I mean, it's no day at the beach, you know, trying to, you know, hold on to the baseball in cold weather, but you just use it to your advantage, knowing that the hitters hate it. They're more uncomfortable than you are.
Gibby, how about taking one off the handle or catching it off the end? Oh, you want to talk about hurt?
That sting.
It would sting, and Gibby, it could take an inning sometimes for it to go away.
Yeah, especially if you got two of them.
Oh man.
Almost makes you not want to swing, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, if you're going to swing, you want to make sure you're going to make sure you barrel it up. You can't pull off.
But you think about this reminds me, this weather, of like World Series weather,
Yeah,
late
yeah.
October.
Yes.
Just a little chill. The pitchers feel fresh. They come out and they're firing BBs. And as a position player, if you're running around, it's just like perfect. There's something about this type of environment, at least in my mind. Now, this is the April cold is a little different. I remember the April cold too, the sunny April days when a ball went off my ear. Peaches, you don't remember that. I hope you weren't pitching.
I don't remember that, no.
Yeah, I lost one in the sun.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember you losing it in the sun.
Castellanos finds a hole. 12 for 22 during this 6-game run for Nicholas Castellanos.
Look, they always try and get down in there. Look how he pulls that in. Remember, I was talking about they stay behind that front leg. Nick's really good at it. When you get out over that, your head gets out over that front leg, you're very susceptible to the off-speed pitch.
Ronnie Rodriguez lays down a nice bunt, gets Castellanos over to second.
Good idea. I tell you, Ronnie, he's wide open. He's either hacking, he's going to make a play, and he hustles. He's, I think, learning a lot of lessons, but he's thinking the game. This is a good try. He gets it down. But you don't get it down, you get a sack. Move the guy to second, scoring position with one out. That's a good play, Simo.
Yeah, no, that's a great play there. But I love the fact that Ronnie wants to get Castellanos in scoring position there, laying down a bunt. We rarely see that here with the Tigers. We're more sitting back, waiting for that 3-run home run. So I like the fact that they're trying to manufacture some runs.
And it wasn't like the third baseman was playing back either. I mean, he was probably even with the bag, not quite on the grass, but still, he was going to lay down a good, you know, at least try to get one good and beat it out.
Now, these left-handed hitters from the Tigers with men in scoring position, the Royals are attacking up high with the fastball, and all the off-speed is down in the dirt, down at the bottom of the zone.
You know, you guys were talking about the cold, and you brought up obviously playing late into the season in 1984. That season ended October 14th. Last year's World Series ended November 1st. That's a huge difference if you're playing in the Midwest or out east, huh?
But you had to win your division.
Good run. Spanks one to second. Nice play by Merrifield.
I mean, you had to win your division to get in. There's 4 teams in. Played Royals in the other division, beat them 3-0, and then we had a big Cubs San Diego series going on. And remember, Danny, we were either going to Chicago, we were packed, or we were going to San Diego, or was it we were staying home against Chicago or going to San Diego?
Correct. Yeah, well, I remember they're sitting in there watching the game and had a suitcase packed, and it wasn't long after the final out that we had to hustle down there, and I think we both were living on the east side at the time, and we didn't have a lot of time. It was like, okay, go.
Matuk drills one to left. Gordon had a beat on it. Tigers threaten, but failed to score. Dan, Simo, we look forward to watching on Tigers Live after the game.
All right, thanks, fellas.
And auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Enjoyable ceremony before today's matchup between the Tigers and Royals, where Victor Martinez playing his last game as a major leaguer after 16 seasons, given a number of parting gifts by the organization.
Those boots, was that alligator or was that lizard?
I don't know, but they're pretty sharp.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And in case people are wondering what the reference is, he has a massive cattle ranch down in Florida. And that's where he's headed. Once everything is done in Milwaukee, a week from tomorrow, he's going to go down there and with his family, and they're going to raise cattle. And he told me his kids are going to learn what it means to work hard on that ranch.
It's the least he can do. That's good. Great commitment from him. It's tough work.
Maybreeze Villarreal leads off. He's the 9th hitter. And then back to the top of that Kansas City lineup with Whit Merrifield and Adalberto Mondesi. Villarreal smoked it last time up, but right at the second baseman. And the Tigers to turn 2. Ronnie Rodriguez now at second base after coming in and pinch running for Victor Martinez after he singled in his final at bat as a pro.
Jim's cruising along here pretty good. Been very solid. 66 pitches here as he goes into the 6th inning.
Got him looking. 3rd strikeout of the night for Jordan Zimmermann.
Tell you what, he's getting a great plate from Nick Lentz behind the dish. Great. Good job by James back there. Sticking it.
Just 3 hits for the Royals. Merrifield had the first one, led off the game with a triple and scored. Walked in the 3rd. That walk was just the 7th in the last 9 games started for Jordan Zimmermann. So we were talking with Dan Petrie about that specific number that Jordan Zimmermann has coming into the game. The number of walks, not many at all. And he and Craig Monroe talking about him being around the plate, which is a very good thing you would think, but sometimes for a hitter, as if you're the manager of Jordan Zimmermann and you know that he's around there so frequently, hitters are going to kind of jump on you. So it shows you that you don't always want to throw strikes, do you, Gibby?
Well, you want to keep them a little bit uneasy and uncomfortable, but that's not everybody's style, to be fair. Good job by McCann trying to make sure he blocked that in case that was swung at by Merrifield. I think maybe pitchers, I've heard him at times say, look at this block, look at him get over there and get in front of it. Some, they don't subscribe to it, as simple as that.
2-2 now to Whit Merrifield, who was 0-2 last time up and drew a walk.
Then got caught stealing.
Got caught stealing, right. Batting .330 at Comerica Park in his last 21 games. Barely missed, and it's full.
Oh. He wanted that one, didn't he? Merrifield looked like he was looking for something off speed. This ball is right there.
So close. Lost him. Hey, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the Fox Sports app. Download the Fox Sports app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you. It's made available by Oakland University.
Let's see if Whit Merrifield is going to try and go again. Like when you get thrown out, he's been thrown out 2 times. He came in thrown out 7 times on the year. We've caught him twice. A lot of guys say okay and they shut it down, but Merrifield, I gotta believe he still is going to try and go.
21 stolen bases since the All-Star break for Merrifield, tied for most in the American League. Mondesi goes the other way. Long run for Stewart. Sliding
got
in,
it.
making the grab.
That was outstanding. That was great judgment there. He slid early. He saw the wall coming, and it was perfect timing. Good concentration. That's good bounce back play. Showed a little bit of character there, didn't he, Shep?
Absolutely.
Tough day last night. Comes out today. Energy. Looks like he's in a positive mode and makes a play like that.
It's part of being a big leaguer, huh? Also has a base hit and a run scored. Would you anticipate Merrifield running more with 2 down or 1 down?
Yeah, 2 down.
Why? Get in scoring position?
Yeah, I mean, you just tend to do it is later in the count. So if Gordon gets down with a couple strikes, he'd be more inclined, and because Gordon gets up with a fresh count. And you know, you don't want to make outs, period. But you know, here's your number 3 hitter in the lineup today. Salvador Perez is right behind him, so you know you're still trying to make things happen.
And Gordon homered last time up, his 12th of the year, solo shot.
Probably going to leave it the hole open for him to give him a shot. A couple strikes, and I would say with 2 strikes, if he thinks maybe he's going to get an off-speed pitch, might be one that he would pick to go on. But again, you got right here, there's that hole because you got to cover the guy. You got to cover Merrifield at first base.
When you were ever picked off, did that put any doubt in your mind next time against that same pitcher you were leading off against?
Being caught stealing?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just, you know, you learn, you're still trying to get him. I really only got picked off one time by Jim Palmer early my rookie year. He put it on me on second base. It's like a Hall of Fame play.
Well, he was a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Yes, he was. I couldn't believe it, as you kind of find out. They're quicker, a little better up here in the big leagues from AAA. Merrifield's being very cautious.
Gordon turns on a 3-0. fouls it away.
Here's the reason he's got picked off. Look at he's jumping, and Zim held the ball. Great technique, one throw. Our boy Pete Cosma, he gets a hold of it. It's over. He got Mondesi last night, second to third.
He did. Yeah, you sure don't want, as a defensive player, you don't want that rundown. You don't want that pickle. You want to make it as few throws as possible. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Gordon. Now it's full.
No, of course he's going now. 3-2, 2 down. Did he throw something off speed here? Slider down and in. Gordon right over top.
Gordon 31 RBIs over the last 46 games. That leads the team. Merrifield goes, and this one punch to third. Cosma, deep throw, a one hopper, and they got him. Nice pick by Goodrum.
Clinic.
We talk about weapons with a bat in your hand. Pete Cosma's one with a glove in hand. Tiger season tickets today. Act now to receive priority seat selection. For more information or to place your deposit, visit tigers.com or call 313-471-2255. Perfect night for a fire. Warm up a little bit, watch some baseball.
No TP there though. You got the TP fire.
What's the TP fire?
You don't know?
I don't.
When you build a fire, you make it like a TP.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So when it starts getting going, you get the draft that comes up, and you get your initial wood to coal, then you just put the one big log in there, and you just party away.
Stay warm and party away.
Well, the night like tonight, this is a perfect night.
Oh, absolutely.
Might have to have one.
I'll be there.
Not invited.
97 pitches now for Jacob.
You're good at inviting yourself. That's like the second time today.
Today?
I heard in my ear 7th time this week, but nah, it's all.
Are we charting that now? If nothing else, persistent. Lefty and a righty in the KC bullpen.
You know, one of my best friends invited him one day, and that's how we became friends.
Phillips is there for a first out in the 6th.
Tell you, James is getting a little frustrated, but he continues to bust it behind the plate, and you know, I see positive signs. This game is cruel sometimes, but all of a sudden, one hit, one event in the game, and you'd be on a roll.
Heavy swing by Jacoby Jones, who singled and scored in the fourth to give the Tigers the 3-2 lead they hold right now. Last night, a one-run game in favor of the Royals. Tigers took the opener by outslugging them at 11 runs and 14 hits in that game. That was full of extra bases and home runs. 15 extra base hits in that first game between these two teams. Been a different story the last couple of nights. Jones 5 for 13 on the homestand.
Good breaking ball there. He's mixing that slider again, going high heater. Everything else low into the ground is the off-speed pitch. That breaking ball, look at it, starts up, you think, yeah, then it disappears.
Good job by Villarreal to hold on to it too. 2 down. Cosmo walked and was left stranded at third in the fourth. Struck out in the second. Caught him off guard, 0-2. Season high in pitches for Jake Junis now. Junis does have one complete game, and it came at Detroit's expense earlier this year. Good sliding stop by Villarreal. Last time out for Junis, he pitched on his birthday against Minnesota. His 26th birthday was the shortest outing of his season. But he gets Cosmos swinging for the second time, and for the second time tonight, he has a perfect inning. Nice effort. His 108 pitches, most of his career. 1, 2, 3 innings for him. but his team trails 3-2. Jordan Zimmerman's been so much better here tonight than he was against the Twins. What's the biggest reason, Gibby?
Well, he's got great command. He's got the slider going, and he's also got the breaking ball going, and he's thrown a couple very good changeups. He's kept them down. The Royals are off balance.
Long run for Goodrum. Can't quite get
he go
there.
after that. He's stuck.
I think he's all right now.
He was low flying down there, wasn't he? Boy, he's really going out. Now that wall comes up quick. It's not easy to stop on that surface. It's another good thing about the net. Kept him out of the crowd, didn't it?
Sure did.
He'd have been in somebody's lap.
Having some popcorn or something. Instead, it's a long strike for Salvador Perez.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch for Jordan. 92 the high, 79 the low. He's got all of his pitches working. He's just
looks comfortable.
he does, and working quick. It's coming out the same. He's pretty much been in command for the whole game of his at-bats. Not too many down counts. He has walked 2 in 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, and 1 solo home run.
Well, Junis was good, but look, he threw 108 pitches through 6. Zimmerman starting the 7th here with this first hitter, and he's at 83.
I think he'd like to get through this inning and turn it over to Joe and then on to Greeny.
12th time this year that Zimmerman has gone through 6.
What do you do if he gets on? We do have somebody. Is that Daniel Stump over there getting loose?
Don't have to worry about it for now. 4th strikeout of the night for Jordan Zimmerman.
Now that ball looks like it's way up the plate. Why would you swing at that? Because the perception of the hitter is that it's not that far outside. You see that comes out. It looks like a little slider. That ball broke further than you thought.
Salvador Perez, one of a couple of Royals to go out and congratulate Victor Martinez on his stellar career after the ceremony before the game's first pitch. He and Alcides Escobar greeted Martinez with a handshake and a hug. Ryan O'Hearn, he can leave the yard quickly. He's got 11 bombs on the year, and that was a home run swing there.
Yeah, he's not. A lot of lefties, they like it down and in the classic lefty. But he's fine wherever it is.
Goes the opposite way for Kristen Stewart. 2 out.
Verhagen and Stump ready in the bullpen. Double barrel for Gardy. They're going with matchup. It's kind of hard to match up when you are here in September. They got so many players with the September call-ups. In the regular season, you got 3 or 4 on the bench. Pretty easy to predict, and you can get yourself into a favorable matchup.
Got to be careful to Hunter Dozier. Home run a couple of nights ago, straightaway center field, carried 439 feet.
You look at that slider right there, missing down. You see a lot of down misses, Shep. You don't want to miss up.
Swung through it, 1 and 2.
Now there's virtually the same pitches, right? First one, he lays off. The second one, you kind of as a hitter sometimes you're saying it's going to be a fastball. Then all of a sudden it disappears. A little more aggressive when you get up in the count.
Just missed outside. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman, his 3rd of the night.
Like to see him out for another.
I'm sure he would too. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
Now Candy, they've been pitching him off speed down, fastballs up, all of his at bats. It's really everything down. That's a changeup, breaking ball, slider. This was the 4th inning at bat, but all of his at bats so far. And we do have a new pitcher in Jake Newberry, but he's got about the same arsenal: fastball, slider.
What's Rick Anderson saying to Jordan Zimmerman? You think he's done, or do you think they're just congratulating him on a nice?
I think he's done.
Okay.
It was a great game.
Only had 13 pitches in the last inning, Gibby. 11 in the previous frame. 93 pitches on the night for Jordan Zimmerman. Heck of an effort.
Yeah, Zim felt good. Like I say, I think this like cool little air, and most pitchers like it, because once they're the warmest one on the field. Because they're moving every pitch.
Would you give him one more batter?
I wouldn't do a batter. I mean, if I'm going to bring somebody in from the bullpen, I'd probably give him a clean inning.
There's a wall side pitching change with Jake Newberry making his 12th appearance. They're doing a good job of silencing opposing hitters. Just 205 against.
Lots of walks. They had a pitcher, Dan Herron. Remember him?
Yeah, I do. Danny Herron.
He always used to turn around and look at hitters, how many walks they had. And that's usually it the other way. I'm looking at the pitcher saying the guy walks a lot. I would be patient. Danny would always turn around. It'd be 2-0. Oh, this is a wide zone tonight. It's going both ways. This ball's running off the plate. Zim got several of these too. Would you rather see a game where umpire call it like that, Shep, or would you?
I do.
You like the game moving?
I think the strike zone is too small as it is.
That's how they used to call it off the plate now.
Right.
And they get graded. Anything I think it's either 2 or 3 inches off the plate or less is you can call it a ball or a strike. Maybe 2 inches. It could be as much as 3. You like that, huh?
I just want to see guys swing the bats a little bit. And I've always felt like, you know, when I was younger, I think it was almost armpits to knees as the strike zone. And it seems like it's a little smaller now. On the corner, 2-1.
Now, I'm watching if I'm James McCann. because that is a good zone for my pitcher too. I mean, he's being very consistent in calling those pitches.
Well, look at Fox strikes. All 3 of them out of the zone.
So it looks he's getting about 4 inches off the plate to me. That's okay. There you got 2 strikes. You know you got to swing at that, right?
Have to. It's been established. Lentz has established the zone.
Remember the widest zone you ever saw?
No.
I do. In playoffs.
Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Jake Newberry.
Like I said, if you're James McCann, you're going to go out there and you're going to look for the same one. All these pitches, 4 inches or so off the plate. But they are strikes. You got several, like 4 or 5.
Nick Lentz is telling the Tigers dugout right now it's been that way all night.
He's right.
And Castellanos had a conversation with him before he stepped into the box.
Your comeback might be, you're right, but it's still a ball.
Castellanos swings and misses.
Let's go. Keep him on the plate. Let's go.
I like that from McCann, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to change.
No, but I like that he's sticking up for his teammate.
Oh, absolutely. I like the way he grabbed the mic today for victory ceremony.
So do I.
I thought James has shown great leadership in many ways this year. More so than the year before.
I don't disagree with it. Castellanos, by the way, 2 for 3. So his 55th multi-hit game.
James McCann is solid.
Man, really good dude. Handles the pitching staff well. A go-to guy. We call him in the media. We call him a go-to guy. So where you go to get some sound bites, some quotes, James McCann.
Now we're going to watch. I'm sure James is going to go out and there's going to be a conversation.
I would hope so.
But as a player, you got to realize that, okay, because it has been that way all night. So you got to respect that. He's not lying about that part. And you got to use that to your advantage. Now, if you don't get it, then you can say something.
Yeah, but he wasn't yelling. He wasn't swearing. He was just saying, keep it on the plate. Let's go. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, I don't think umpires would hold a grudge for that type of barking, would you?
I just don't think they want to sit. They don't want a scene. I think they're fine with it. Just keep it.
Stroke to left. Nick Castellanos with a 3-hit affair. And he'll dig for second and make it easily.
Really turned it on there. Good form, busted out of the box. Good around the bag. And he can hit. Let's look at some of the finer points. Look at, just can't get up high enough. Good route. That is outside foot on the corner. That is nice.
That's 19 games in which Castellanos has had 3 hits.
Gonna get something off speed probably.
Ronnie Rodriguez takes one low.
Ronnie, that a boy. He's taking that all the way. He's been very aggressive. Starting to figure it out a little bit.
Singled in the 3rd, sacrificed in the 5th.
Ooh. Let that go. Good boy. Don't get cheated, Ronnie. And he didn't.
hit his 5th homer of the year yesterday. You look at his left foot, Gibby, it does look like it goes a little bit, we used to call it in the bucket. It's not quite that deep, but.
Well, they've closed him up. They're trying to, you know, I think there's a plan to work it back to what you're talking about. And he was way open earlier in the year.
Two and two. Tigers fans, the team wraps things up with the Royals here at Comerica Park tomorrow afternoon, so make sure to tune into our last home game of the year. All of your game coverage begins with Tigers Live at noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit with Mickey York, Dan Petrie, Trevor Thompson.
Shirts off the backs tomorrow?
Shirts off the backs tomorrow.
So does that
That'll be a pretty cool present for somebody, number 41, right? His last jersey?
Yeah, it would be. Put your tie on over it.
Under it. Just missed off the edge, and it's another full count.
No, he's been more to the lefties than the righties.
Grounder in the hole, it's short. Mondesi, tough throw, didn't get him.
No,
oh, it did get him.
No, he's safe.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that, I would guess.
Look at Kansas City even knows they're not coming off the field. Look at, I thought he was safe.
That is really close.
Great play though, Mondesi. They're not going to do it.
It's an out. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Of what a bank can be. Come to America. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. This took place just the other day. Victor Martinez, one of those moments that he will cherish for the rest of his life. Be able to run on the outfield with his kids and allow them to experience just a little bit of what he was able to do over his 16-year career. Wallside Windows pitching change. Joe Jimenez, who's been lights out recently.
Yeah, he's been rock solid in the 8th inning, setting up Greeny. Numbers this month have been solid. 6 games, 11 Ks, has not walked, hasn't given up a hit. Let's keep it going.
11 strikeouts and 2 holds over that stretch. Ryan Goodwin stands in. Fastball right down the middle. Brett Phillips to follow, at least scheduled to follow, and Mabry's Villarreal as well. in this inning.
Stay hard away.
Just missed.
No, he didn't get it.
Jimenez pitched a couple of nights ago and struck out the side. Goodwin 0 for 2, but on the year 4 for 9 against, or 4 for 11 now against the Tigers. He's had a hit in all 3 games he's played against Detroit.
Off the plate here.
Did you watch James McCann talk with Nick Lenz, the home
we
plate
did.
umpire?
We got it loaded up. We'll get through this at bat. I love stuff like that. You know they're going to talk sometime, somewhere. But McCann had to say.
Stroke to right center. Castellanos hustling, makes a nice play. That's a Matuk, rather. Mikey Matuk in right field tonight.
So this is how the fun stuff starts. Ball's called out to plate. James defends his teammates. Didn't pitched all day. Then to start this inning, you're thinking, man, are they going to say anything to each other? Both pros back to work. It's over and done. Actually, he's had a solid strike zone tonight. This is the kind that Shep likes.
I love that. You're going to start this now? You're going to start this now?
No, I'm not going to start
in the seventh inning when it's been that way all night?
No, I just asked you the question, and you said you liked it.
I do. I like it.
You like the games to move? Some say they need more offense. How about the shifts?
I don't mind the shifts.
Well,
I've always said if you don't like it, I mean, find a way to beat it.
Yeah, but some people suggest the shifts are stopping the offense as well. I
think the
agree on that point.
Inability to go the other way oftentimes tells me that.
What's the other element? The schedule. Some say you read the John Schmaltz.
Yeah, how long they've been playing these many games though? They've been playing 162 games for a long time.
So you're a traditionalist.
Well, if I was a traditionalist, I guess I would have started with 154, but they changed it.
Do you waver from day to day, or you just
no?
Just solid.
I'm pretty consistent with it. I would do away with interleague play.
Why don't you like interleague?
Again, I suppose the traditional part of things. I would like to see more of a balanced schedule. Hang on, Brett Phillips. It's 3-2, buddy.
How about if they played the National League game here and they played the American League game in National League Park? And this is right there at the bottom. That's a good pitch.
Well, that's a different argument, but I'm all for the DH in both leagues myself.
They're getting it from both sides, by the way. Now, if you could throw this one about 4 inches off the plate, we could really get something going on here. He calls it. Got our cameras ready in the Kansas City dugout as well.
Phillips singled back in the third, snapped an 0 for 11 streak, and then grounded out to first. In the hole, his second hit of the night. MLB at Bat is your /1 Detroit Tigers app. Customize your experience to catch every moment. Get Detroit Tigers home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcast, the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. deep fly ball, right field. Matuk's got plenty of room. 2 down. Phillips thought about tagging.
He's done it 2 times. He rounded the base on his base hit. Mikey with the reverse pivot. Not going to run on Mikey. He's serious. He's on key right there. Saw him tagging. Got in quickly with the strong throw.
Top of the order for Whit Merrifield. Merrifield, the only Kansas City player with 4 hit streaks of 12 games or more in a year. Extended that streak here tonight. Good stop by McCann.
Excellent. Yeah, this is a tough one right here. He gets ahead of it, though. It's what you're trying to do as a catcher.
How about how quickly he had to turn his glove? The decision making, split second in this sport.
Going to use a mound visit. I'd like to see the infielders go in there. And they are. Let everybody in. Sometimes they're changing signs.
Why would they change the signs now?
Probably not. However, people do peek in from first. Get out a good enough lead. Phillips looks like he's got some speed, but he only has 1 steal and 2 attempts. Yeah, you could see a coach maybe getting the signs, relay them.
Just missed outside. Did I miss that, or did McCann not flash any signs after the mound?
Well, they told he told everybody what he was going to throw. So I mean, they go through extreme measures to not let anybody on the other side know.
3-0. Single and 2 walks for Merrifield. The only 2 walks surrendered by Jordan Zimmerman tonight. Green light. Left corner. Stewart's got to chase it down. Good speed from Phillips. This will be an important relay. Kozma throws home, and it is not in time, and we're tied at 3.
They didn't get him, but that was mechanically a very good relay right here. Stewie did a good job. Just can't do it any quicker. Phillips is in there.
Did you see how far Kozma was out on the grass?
Oh yeah, they've adjusted to Stewie's arm a little bit. They talked about it.
Ron Gardenhire said as much yesterday. I want you out as far as you can go to give him the shorter throw. You take the longer throw.
And the exchange is going to be quick with the middle infielder. Stewart did a real good job. Got over top of the ball. Got a good throw in there.
Mondesi fouls it back.
Now watch Kristen Stewart. This is where it all starts. He takes his time. Gets it with his glove this time. He's turned. And he's got the good throw. And there's Pete out there nice and close. And he makes the quick throw and just a little late.
Kozma caught that with great rhythm with his body behind it all at once. Textbook. But the speed of Phillips helps the cause. 1-1 to Mondesi. Now the key is making sure Merrifield doesn't score. He's got great speed, as we've alluded to all series. Mondesi with 31 runs driven in. 0 for 2 tonight.
just time to look around, see what clue you can get ahead of the situation.
Good stop by McCann on the backhand.
Those are change-ups. Merrifield is always in the middle of something when we play him, isn't he?
Sure is. I bet you there's a lot of opposing broadcasters who say that about Whit Merrifield this year. Jimenez closes the door, but Kansas City ties it up. Whit Merrifield, the pain in the back of Detroit all series and all season long, makes sure we're tied at 3.
Hold true moment for the game. Victor Martinez knew it was going to be his last game. Had a nice little 12-minute ceremony for Victor and his family, and some gifts. Now I think that's his chair that he sits in the clubhouse, and Victor was very emotional, and his teammates are very supportive and appreciative. End of a 16-year career for
And
Victor.
then he did address the audience. He did address the fans for a moment, but that had to be tough.
Yeah, he was really sucked it up there, and then he'd had enough. And
well, you and I were in Cleveland. He got emotional in Cleveland when he said when they gave him a tribute in his last game there at Progressive Field. This is Jason Hamill, the new pitcher for the Kansas City Royals. He'll face Nico Goodrum, Mikey Matuk, and James McCann. Solid day for Goodrum in his return. 2 for 3. A couple of RBIs, a single and a double.
Jason Hamill, fastball, slider, 92 mile an hour. Sliders about 86. Can be sliders down and in. Here you see the wall side windows pitching change.
Opposite way, down the line. Gordon giving chase, and foul ball.
That's a gift. He doesn't miss many, but that was a tough catch running down into that corner. You got to catch it and stop at the same time. It looked like it hit him in the heel. You know, gloves are big. We've seen one come out of Jacoby's tonight. We've seen one come out of Gordon's tonight.
Special outfield gloves.
Well, if
what are
it's
they, 12 and a half?
12 and a half inches, yeah. If your glove's too soft, like looks like Jacoby's, when he hit the ground, it kind of whipped out of there. If it's too stiff, it doesn't like stay in. If you hit it in the pocket, it's great because it won't come out.
Should close almost automatically. Stroke down the right field line, but foul. How did you break your gloves in? Did you bake them?
Generally, I put a ball in there, put the shaving cream on, dip it in water.
Okay.
Put a ball in there, wrap a bunch of sanitaries around it, and just hang it up and let it dry. You just get the hammer out, you get the bat out, you just start beating on it a little bit.
Yeah, just beat it
massaging it a little bit
after
you beat it, and then it just starts to soften up a little bit, and you use it every time you're on the field in practice.
You know, some people bake them just for a short period of time, like they do with skates. A lot of people bake skates so they form fit your foot. Back up the middle. Oh, and off the glove of Mondesi. You don't see that very often either.
No, he got a bad hop and he took a drop step. There's some top spin on it. Got to wear that one off the chest, huh? He's got a pretty good glove. And again, you can see his glove right there didn't gobble that up. That's a good start for the Tigers.
That's a 3-hit night for Niko Goodrum. What do you do with Mikey Matuk here, Gibby?
I let him hit. With Niko on the bases, going to score more runs per the run matrix. You know, remember we showed his leads, he's cleaned that up.
Goodrum does have 12 stolen bases this year. Did have the quad contusion that kept him out of the mix for a while. About 10 days.
Remember, he was way back in here before. I think they've moved him up a little bit. It's more of a direct line. It looks like no bunts on. Bottom of the 8th, they're going to go for multiple runs. You don't want to concede any outs. Remember, we had Jay on the other day. He was saying you only got so many outs. Don't give any of them away.
Yeah, Jay Sartori, in charge of the analytics department, launched deep left, and that's gone. A 2-run shot.
Mikey's last 2 at bats, both fly balls to left field. He just missed. He did not miss that.
Nine homers now in the last 29 games for Mikey Matuk.
Little spinner. Mikey did miss that one. That's right off the sweet spot. Look how he's behind this ball. Full extension, 2-run jack.
Extension. Victor Martinez talking about how he got his hands inside. Well, we had talked about Jacob Junis giving up a lot of home runs for Kansas City. The starter today, Jason Hamill, has now surrendered 18. There's Jacoby Jones.
Get some more.
Shane Green warming up for the ninth. Jones 1 for 4 last night, 1 for 3 tonight. In the seats down the right field line. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Closeout. Brad Keller, former Rule 5 draft, and Daniel Norris for the Tigers, still in search of his first win.
Be a good building block towards next year for Daniel to have a positive outing tomorrow and the Tigers to get a win.
Grounder to third. Dozier across the diamond. And there's 2 down. By the way, Keller, we mentioned a Rule 5 pick. He was teammates with Victor Reyes, Double-A Jackson last season. Reyes was the #1 pick in the Rule 5. Keller was selected 5th. So a little connection there between the two.
Solid play right here. Just Jacoby, I like the way he hustled, even though they're down or up by 2 runs. He's getting down there pretty good. Keep the pressure on him, Shep.
I would hope that's contagious. You watch your teammate do that.
Remember when Nick went for 2 on his double? I mean,
yeah.
You got to come out of the box good. You can't anticipate. If he bobbles that just a little bit, Jacoby's safe.
To left center. Cosmo. He's digging for 2. Found the gap. He may be headed for 3. He is. Cosmo with a stand-up 2-out triple.
Boy, he's played so well since he's come back. You don't expect him to go this deep, but this is right up the gap. His legs are going to be tired. He's all over the diamond for the Tigers. So can you imagine if you run around like that, you probably get a little tired, don't you?
I would be. I'm tired looking at him.
Feel that upper half starting to tighten up. You just got to relax a little bit, pump those arms, and on third you go.
First triple of the year for Pete Cosma. 5th extra base hit for the Tigers shortstop. Jamer Candelario trying to snap out of an 0 for 10 slump.
Big run. You know they're going to throw you high fastballs, and they're going to do the same thing.
Off speed, 1-1.
Yep. Seen a lot of those. High heaters, off speed, secondary pitches down to the lower third of the zone.
Center field straight away for Goodwin. Sports is about taking advantage of the other team's or person's mistakes. Mikey Matuk did, and he made Jason Hamill pay as we head to the 9th.
Mikey York back at the ballpark for a 1-800-CALL-SAM update. It's been a back-and-forth game all night long, but Mikey Matsuk with the big blast to back what was a very solid outing for Jordan Zimmerman. Dan.
Yeah, too bad he's not going to get the win as, Jimenez gave up the lead there, but let's hopefully they can hold him in the top of the ninth here and never goes home that be on Victor Martinez's day.
Pete, for me, Jordan Zimmerman was Picasso tonight. He was painting to both sides of the plate. He had all four of his pitches working tonight, and he kept the baseball down. And again, he came away. He pitched extremely well tonight.
And as you guys touched on, been a very emotional day for Victor Martinez. We'll hear from him after the game. And if you missed any of that pregame ceremony, we'll run that back for you as well immediately following the final out. Shep, Gibby.
That was awesome. Hey Mick, it's Mickey and Mikey tonight. Have you noticed that?
I would have taken him if we had done that and picked the stick tonight.
No, you said you broke up.
Well, no, we were just taking a break.
It was a sabbatical.
Yeah, it was just a break, Gibby. We weren't just seeing some other people for a little while.
And we had that idea. This is what teammates are for. We had the idea to all pick Nick. Guess whose idea it really was?
Whose was it?
Mick's.
What?
We all picked Victor.
Victor, yeah. Well, it was, we all share in the nice night that it's been for Victor
I
Martinez.
guess you're not as comfortable as you lead on to be.
I'm fine.
I think Mickey's quote was, "I've already won the thing," wasn't it?
I or we?
I'm pretty sure it was I.
Keating's calling.
Who?
We stuck up for you last night, bud. I want you to know that. There's the wall side windows pitching change. Shane Green looking to close things down.
Yeah, Greeny's been struggling a little bit, but he got through the last game. On for more tonight. Shut this down. This will be his 31st save.
Good way to start it, huh?
Yeah, it's good. He works on that outside corner, keep it down, and a good slider there. Back door. This is quality right here. Look at it, doesn't have a hump in it, just comes right out. Back door. Gordon gave up on it. Fooled him.
Salvador Perez. Big fly. Left field. Stewart timing it. Gone.
He was sitting on that two-seamer, just got up in the zone a little bit. Salvador Perez cheating in on it. Tigers lead 5-4. That's not a bad pitch. He's kind of going in on him. Look at him keep his hands in there. Stewie trying to get it.
That's his 13th home run in his 52nd career game here at Comerica Park. And it's a one-run game. To second base. One out away. Here's Hunter Dozier.
Yeah, you just keep that ball low in the zone. He's got some good run on it there. Like the ground ball probability. Down and away. And the slider, I think he's just maybe trying to overthrow it a little bit, Shep. You think about getting it down and
tight.
But as a hitter, sometimes your timing leaves you. As a pitcher, it leaves you. A base runner, it leaves you. Fielding, you get bad hops. Greeny's thrown a lot of innings this year and continues to battle.
Dozier 0 for 3, 1 for 12 in the series. To second base, tough hop. Rodriguez makes the play. And on the first night of fall, the last night ever played in a game for Victor Martinez, his Tigers hold on for a 1-run win. Let's send it to the Coliseum Studios. Mickey York, Dan Petrie, Craig Monroe standing live for Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Shep, thank you very much. So Victor able to go out on top. His reaction to his emotional farewell in his final game here in Detroit. Nico returns and knocks off the rust. We'll hear from him from the Tiger clubhouse. We'll admire the Tigers' glove work tonight. And Mikey likes it. He'll talk of his game-winning home run next on Tigers Live.